sign them for you. It's a very, very sweet thing. So guys, I do want to touch on, look, we don't have a lot of time, so I want to touch on a couple things. Let's start with crypto and what's going on the regulatory side. So I think a number of people will know this, but if you're not from the markets, you won't. The Howey Test. An investment contract exists if there is an investment of money in a common enterprise with a reasonable expectation of profits to be derived from the efforts of others. And the Howey Test, for those that don't know it, I forget when it was. You probably know, like 1940 something. Yeah, really set the standard for what's a security and what's not. And importantly, I'd like to get your independent view. So Jay, why don't we start with you? Certainly, Gary, who followed in your footsteps, Gary Gensler has been extremely active. You took a couple steps as chair too. So what's your view on these thousands of cryptocurrencies out there?
So look, I've said this for a long time, and I think that the market has evolved, but many, if not the vast majority of tokens that were sold for cash would fall within the definition of a security. The definition of a security in America was intentionally broad and intentionally flexible. And that's what we're seeing play out. There have been a lot of what I would say is differences of opinion about what's not a security. People say, oh, if it's utility, it's not a security. Let me give you the best example I have of what is a security that has utility, or at least future utility, and then may not always be a security. Really quickly, tickets to a Broadway show that's being produced but not yet playing. If I go to the two of you and I say, you know what, buy 1,000 tickets from me for $10 a piece, I'm going to take that money, I'm going to take that $10,000 from each of you, I'm going to get a producer, I'm going to get actors, I'm going to find a venue, and believe me, you'll be able to resell those tickets for $100, maybe $1,000, maybe it's the Lion King. You just bought a security. There's no doubt about it, okay? 10 years later, the production's usually successful. You walk up to the box office, you buy the exact same ticket. It's just a ticket. That's the difference between something that is the expectation of future profit and pure utility. And the confusion around that, and I would say the horrible legal advice that had been given, has led to these very, what I would say is, bitter fights, emotional fights over classification when we should just get on with it. The real question is, how do we trade those tickets once the production is up and playing? They're not securities. The example I give is Taylor Swift tickets. One of the deepest markets there is. Price discovery would be absolutely super efficient. But that's not securities trading. But we should have a digitized market for it.
Okay, I love that example. I guess and by the way, when you think about cryptocurrencies, the only difference is at least if you get a ticket to a show, you can see a show at the end. I'm not sure that, and I have to admit, my team knows that